Have you ever looked up at the stars and felt a profound sense of mystery, or stared into the depths of history and wondered about the stories that have been lost to time? We live in a world brimming with knowledge, a world where science can explain the orbits of planets and the workings of our own DNA. Yet, there are some enigmas that stubbornly resist explanation. These are not just simple puzzles. They are deep, haunting questions that challenge our understanding of reality itself. Today, we're diving into the abyss of the unknown, exploring the most baffling unsolved mysteries that continue to elude even the brightest minds. These are the stories that whisper from the shadows of history and science, daring us to find an answer. Let's begin our journey in the remote highlands of Scotland with a story that feels ripped from a fairy tale, yet is disturbingly real. It's the mystery of the Eilean Mor lighthouse keepers. In December 1900, a passing ship noticed the light on the island of Eilean Mor was out. A relief vessel was sent to investigate. What they found was a scene of eerie abandonment. The lighthouse was deserted. The three keepers, Thomas Marshall, James Decat, and Donald MacArthur, had vanished without a trace. A meal was left untouched on the table, a chair was overturned, and one of the keeper's oilskin coats was left behind, suggesting he'd rushed out into a storm without it. But there was no sign of a struggle, no bodies, and no clues. The last log entry spoke of a terrible storm, with winds the likes of which the experienced keeper had never seen. Yet strange details emerged. The log mentioned the men were praying and crying, which was highly uncharacteristic. More puzzlingly, there were no reported storms in the area at that time. What could have terrified these three seasoned keepers so much that they would abandon their post, seemingly vanishing into thin air? Theories range from a rogue wave to paranormal encounters, but nearly 125 years later, the silence from Eilean Mor is all that remains. The mystery isn't just about what happened. It's a chilling reminder of our vulnerability against the vast and different forces of nature, or perhaps something else entirely. From the cold shores of Scotland, let's travel to the sun-baked Nazca Desert in Peru, home to one of the most visually stunning and intellectually frustrating mysteries on Earth, the Nazca Lines. These are gigantic geoglyphs, massive designs etched into the desert floor over 2,000 years ago by the Nazca culture. There are hundreds of them depicting animals like hummingbirds, spiders and monkas, spiders and monkas, as well as geometric shapes and long, straight lines that stretch for miles. The sheer scale is mind-boggling. Many of these figures are so large they can only be fully appreciated from the air. This immediately raises the question: how and why did a civilization, without any known means of flight, create these enormous artworks for an audience in the sky? Archaeologists have proposed various theories. Were they astronomical calendars, pointing to the rising and setting of celestial bodies? Were they part of complex religious rituals designed to be walked upon as ceremonial pathways? Or were they a desperate plea for water, giant symbols to appeal to the gods in the heavens? The precision is astounding. The lines are created by removing the reddish-brown, iron oxide-coated pebbles that cover the surface of the desert, revealing the light-colored earth underneath. But the purpose remains locked away. The Nazca Lines force us to confront the limits of our historical imagination. We see the what, but the why is a canyon of speculation. They are a silent, sprawling testament to a lost belief system, a message drawn in the sand that we no longer have the code to read. Now let's turn our attention from the ground to the sky, and to a phenomenon that has puzzled scientists for decades: the WOW signal. In 1977, astronomer Jerry Emmon was working on the SETI project, a search for extraterrestrial intelligence using a radio telescope. He was scanning the skies for signals that might indicate intelligent life elsewhere in the universe. On August 15th, the telescope picked up an astonishingly strong, narrowband radio signal. It lasted for 72 seconds and came from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius. The signal was so powerful, so distinct from the background noise of space, that when Ammon saw the data printout, he circled it and wrote "Wow" in the margin. Here's what makes it so mysterious. The signal had all the expected hallmarks of an interstellar broadcast. It was at a frequency that is largely quiet in the universe, a frequency that hydrogen, the most common element, naturally emits. It's exactly where we might expect an intelligent civilization to broadcast. But after those 72 seconds, it was gone, and it has never, ever been detected again. Scientists have pointed the telescope back to that exact spot in the sky countless times, but have found only silence. Was it a fleeting message from an alien world? A previously unknown natural astronomical phenomenon? Or a malfunction of the equipment? The WOW signal is the ultimate cosmic cliffhanger. It's a single tantalizing data point that suggests we might not be alone, a cosmic whisper that we just happened to overhear for a brief moment before it was lost to the static of the universe forever. It makes you wonder what other messages are flying past us, unheard. Our final mystery takes us not into the depths of space or the pages of history, but into the very fabric of our reality. It's the puzzle of dark matter and dark energy. For centuries we thought we had a pretty good handle on the universe. It was made of stars, planets, gas, and dust, all the stuff we can see and interact with. This is what we call baryonic matter. But in the 20th century, astronomers noticed something was deeply wrong. Galaxies were spinning so fast that based on the amount of visible matter they contained, they should have flown apart. The gravitational pull of the stars and gas wasn't enough to hold them together. It was as if some invisible, massive substance was providing the extra gravity needed. Scientists call this mysterious substance dark matter. They can't see it. They can't detect it, but they know it has to be there because they can see its gravitational effects. But the mystery gets even deeper. Not only is there this invisible matter, but the universe itself is expanding at an accelerating rate. Some force is pushing everything apart, counteracting gravity on a cosmic scale. This force has been named dark energy. When you add it all up, the numbers are staggering. The ordinary matter that makes up you, me, the Earth, and all the stars we can see accounts for less than 5% of the total mass and energy of the universe. About 27% is dark matter, and a whopping 68% is dark energy. Think about that. 95% of our universe is made of stuff we cannot see, cannot touch, and cannot comprehend. We are living in the 5%, like tiny islands of light in a vast, dark ocean. This isn't just an unsolved problem in physics. It's a fundamental challenge to our place in the cosmos. It tells us that what we perceive as reality is just a tiny fraction of what is actually out there. From vanished lighthouse keepers to celestial whispers and the very invisible architecture of our universe, these mysteries do more than just baffle us. They inspire us. They push the boundaries of science, history, and philosophy. They remind us that the world is far more complex and wonderful than we can possibly imagine. The answers may lie just around the corner, waiting for the next brilliant mind, the next technological breakthrough, or perhaps they will remain forever out of reach, eternal questions etched into the fabric of existence. And maybe that's the point. Maybe the value isn't just in finding the answer, but in the act of searching, in the humility of admitting we don't know, and in the profound wonder that such questions evoke within us. What do you think is the most compelling unsolved mystery? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the unknown. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss our next exploration. Until next time, keep questioning.